Man must either be caressed or annihilated. Niccolò Machiavelli. These days, everyone talks about respect, but few truly know how it's earned. This isn't just a video, it's a lesson. Every second was crafted to dismantle the weak man and reveal what truly commands respect. Watch closely, because this isn't made to entertain, it's made to awaken. Strength in stillness. Imagine this: a room full of shouting, everyone talking, everyone reacting, everyone trying to be seen. And then, one person, silent, not because he has nothing to say, but because he has already seen it all. In his calm, others see their own chaos reflected, and it unsettles them. Be unshakable. It's the most misunderstood quality and the most powerful in a world that doesn't know how to be quiet, where everything is commented on, everything is screamed, every emotion is on display. In that noise, self-control becomes power. The man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't chase, who doesn't display his need, is the one who confuses everyone. But most people don't understand this, because what cannot be controlled is feared. This isn't about apathy, it's about self-mastery, the ability to appear distant without actually being so, to choose when to show up and when to disappear. A man doesn't need to raise his voice to command respect. He earns it because he has worked on himself, because he has learned to wait, to observe, to resist the urge for external validation. Those who've lived it know, non-reaction isn't apathy, it's strategy. It's patience with an edge. It's looking chaos in the eye and not blinking. And yes, most people won't understand it. They'll call you cold, distant, even arrogant. Let them, because while they talk, you move. While they burn out, you conserve energy. While they need to be seen, you choose when to appear. That's the difference between noise and presence. Don't confuse reaction with response. Reacting is cheap. Responding is power. A reaction is instinct. A response is strategy. And a man won't react to every provocation because he's understood. Not everything deserves his energy. He's learned to hold back, to stay silent when others look for a fight, to observe without revealing anything. Because the less he reveals, the more power he keeps. And when he finally decides to act, his move carries weight. Not because it's impulsive, but because it's chosen. That's what commands respect. So listen closely. Being unshakable is not a pose. It's a discipline, an art that grows in silence when no one's watching. A way of being in the world that doesn't ask for permission, doesn't compete, doesn't crawl. It's having the strength to stay quiet when the ego screams, to wait when everyone runs, to see without showing that you're watching. Machiavelli said it clearly. The prince must appear calm, even if inside he's at war. Because if you show need, they'll read you. And if they can read you, they'll use you. The unshakable man dominates in silence. He doesn't need to explain. He doesn't need to impress. He speaks with intention. He moves with calculation. He doesn't fill the air with noise. He doesn't show everything he feels. He is disciplined, precise, while others react instantly to every comment, every gesture, every glance. He remains still, not because he's weak, but because he's observing, calculating, waiting. His power isn't in action. It's in making others ask, why doesn't he respond? Why doesn't he react? Why doesn't he care? That mystery is his weapon. Mystery creates attraction. When you stop reacting, you start attracting. The world runs from what's predictable and is magnetized by what it can't understand. This isn't coldness, it's strategy. It's not about feeling less. It's about feeling deeply without handing it over. Think with clarity. Appear distant. Hold your power and don't display it. Machiavelli knew this. He who appears to need nothing ends up controlling everything. Indifference is power, and silence, a perfect trap. While you speak little, others reveal everything. You just listen. You take notes. That's emotional control. That's psychological warfare. Because true power almost never makes noise. Calm isn't natural. It's trained. The truly non-reactive man was forged in waiting. He's disciplined. He doesn't confuse urgency with importance, visibility with influence. He moves only when he must. And when he does, everyone notices. He doesn't demand respect. He becomes it. He doesn't beg for attention. His presence demands it. The world screams, he observes. The world rushes, he waits. Not because he can't act, but because he's learned. Silence disarms more than any speech. Every reaction he withholds is an act of power. Every emotion he contains is a brick in his fortress. They call him cold, but it's strategy with fangs, patience with purpose. A silent threat to those addicted to constant validation. When you stop reacting, you start attracting. The world moves away from the predictable and feels magnetized by the unknown. It's not coldness, it's strategy. It's not about not feeling, it's about feeling deeply, without giving it away. To think with clarity, to appear distant while being fully present. To hold control and never show it. Machiavelli knew, he who appears to need nothing ends up controlling everything. Indifference is power. Silence, a perfect trap. The less you speak, the more others reveal. You just listen. You just observe. That's emotional dominance. That's psychological warfare. Because true power almost never makes a sound. Calm is not natural. It's trained. The truly non-reactive man has been shaped by waiting. He has disciplined himself not to confuse urgency with importance, nor visibility with influence. He moves only when it's time, and when he does, everyone notices. He doesn't demand respect, he embodies it. He doesn't seek attention, his presence commands it. The world screams, he observes. The world runs, he waits. Not because he can't act, but because he knows silence disarms more than any speech. Every contained reaction is an act of power. Every mastered emotion a brick in his inner fortress. They call him cold, but it's strategy with teeth, patience with direction. A silent threat to those who live for constant validation. Non-reaction unsettles, and what unsettles attracts. When you don't react, the other becomes destabilized. When you don't need, the other starts to offer. When you don't chase, the other turns to see why. People pursue what withdraws. They crave what is not easily given. They obsess over what remains silent. Look around, observe carefully. It's not real indifference, it's emotional control. It's not coldness, it's purpose. It's not that you don't feel, it's that you don't give the world the privilege of seeing how it affects you. That mystery is your shield. That calm, your sword. You're not acting. You're choosing when and how to be seen. And that is power. Remember this. The one who seems to need less dominates more. Not because he doesn't want, but because he can wait. Because he has options. Because he knows, the one who shows hunger loses the game before it even begins. I tell you from experience. I learned it late, but I learned it. You decide, do you want to be transparent or enigmatic? Do you want to be understood or unforgettable? Clarity is comfortable. Ambiguity is magnetic. Machiavelli said it plainly. Whoever reveals their intentions gives up their power. And when I read that, I understood. I don't need to be understood. I need to be respected. So I decided, never again show need. Only presence. Only focus. Only strategy. A man doesn't react because he doesn't care. He reacts because he cares too much. And that's where he gives himself away. Watch closely. The one who shouts, who justifies himself, who gets offended, is not strong. He is insecure. Because the one in control doesn't need to prove it. You can lose everything over one reaction. One word too many. One wrong look. One unfiltered emotion. But you can gain everything through silence. Uncomfortable silence. The kind that makes others uncomfortable. The kind that doesn't need to explain, or correct, or beg. Machiavelli taught me this. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. And sometimes, that enemy is your own ego, because the one who doesn't need approval, who doesn't beg for attention, who doesn't reveal his strategy, is always one step ahead. The energy of the unshakable man doesn't belong to this era. It's from another time. A time when honor meant more than exposure, when silence wasn't emptiness, but strategy, when self-control was the purest form of respect. It's not about lacking emotion. It's about mastering every single one. It's not about pretending to be cold. It's about practicing control. It's not about manipulating others. It's about being perceived inevitably as the one in control. Because the one who holds their center plants doubt in everyone else. And in that doubt, your advantage begins. Have you ever felt this way? Then you already know what you are. An anomaly in a world that screams, welcome. If this way of seeing the world resonates with you, stay. Because here, you didn't come to fit in. You came to wake up.